Welcome to Pondering Passages. I'm Curt Austin, and my good friend David Mullins and I will be talking about Psalm 24 this week. And so we would love for you to join us in that as we talk about what it means. The verses are just 10 short verses, but a power-packed psalm. And so we want you to be a part of that conversation. We can't wait to talk to you. We'll see you soon. Welcome back. We are getting ready to dive into Psalm 24. And my good friend right over there is
David
Mullins. We do this every week, and I'm Curt Austin, and we are so glad that you have joined us. And we're going to be talking about this psalm, which I think it's kind of cool. 22, 23, 24.
25,
I really like
26. They just keep going
just
sequentially.
Go on.
It's just like one after another. It's
just the way that seems to work. So Psalm 24, a psalm of David. So let's get right into the meat of this. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it, the world and all its people belong to him. For he laid the earth's foundation on the seas and built it on the ocean depths. How cool is that?
I'm distracted by my shirt.
It's pretty jazzy. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Oh my!
So if you're not if you're watching this and you just have lost interest in the psalm, just pay attention to David because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's wow. Guess I won't wear this to the show anymore. Anyway, I digress.
It may be one of those weeks.
Might be.
Okay, so the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. What a great statement.
I know everything in it.
Everything in it. Mm-hmm.
I just wonder if he was just kind of, the earth is like, well, you know what? Actually, everything. It's just everything.
What's the comedian that you and I were listening to when we were driving out? Curly hair, Steve. Is it Steve?
Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright. His joke. If you had everything, where would you put it? Kind of a thing.
Yeah. The world's a big place. I wouldn't want to paint it.
Wouldn't want to paint it. I thought verse 2 was fascinating, as far as this concept of building, lay the earth's foundation on the seas, and then built it on the ocean depths. Did you get any insight into that this week?
You want to know something freaky about this? I was watching a class on how to read the Bible. It's about time. But they talked about the kind of the worldview of the Israelites and the worldview of the Hebrew Bible, that there's like this watery place, and then God put the earth, and then the waters flowed up from that, and which goes right along with this. But then, completely unrelated, I saw an article saying that scientists have discovered like an ocean somewhere within the core of the earth.
I did. I just saw that. That was just recently, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that they might have actually had a greater insight into just the structure of the earth than what we have for centuries?
It completely freaks me out, man, that they would know this stuff.
Well, and then but that's been true with so many different passages where there's a truth that is found in that. Now, people are happy to go to the other extreme and saying, yeah, but, the sun didn't stop in the middle of the sky. That can't have happened.
I'm thinking it did now. I mean, if this can be true, who am I?
Well, you know nothing, Dave. I think that's the answer to that. Well, let's keep going. So, who may climb the mountain of the Lord? Who may stand in his holy place? Only those whose hands and hearts are pure, who do not worship idols and never tell lies. Ooh, you should have used this for your children growing up. Verse 5, they will receive the Lord's blessing and have a right relationship with God, their Savior. Such people you may seek you and worship in your presence, O God of Jacob. Interlude. What do you think?
Well, well, I'm thinking, why are you asking me? What do you think? Jump in there.
Well, I think it's amazing because verses 1 and 2 are about this God of all power, right?
Yeah.
Everything in the earth belongs to him. He built the earth
Everything.
on the seas. And now
Yeah.
it turns to us. And it's like, do you think you're actually worthy to show up on the mountain of God, to
Yeah.
stand in his holy presence? Yeah, you can be, but man, the bar is pretty darn
Well,
high.
the question is, can you? Never tell lies. Do not worship idols.
Well, hands are pure. They receive
That's
the
what I was
Lord's
looking for.
blessing.
Where is
Huh?
hands are pure? Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Verse 4.
hearts, hands and hearts are pure.
Yeah, hands and
Yeah.
hearts are pure. This, I mean, I don't know that it's a high bar. It might be an impossible bar. And I say that for a reason, and we'll get to why I say that. But I want to set this up that if we think we can climb the mountain of the Lord, and this is the requirements, I don't know.
Well, the psalmist surely doesn't dangle this hope out in front of us, right? I mean, to say, yeah, all you have to do, Dave, all you have to do to be in the presence of God is just be absolutely pure. Don't
Absolutely
worship idols.
perfect.
When's the last time you
Absolutely
worshipped
perfect.
an idol? You don't do that.
Nope, I never do that.
For those listening, Dave just lifted his phone up in the air.
Which is right here by my side.
Always.
Even as we do this.
Anita asked me, when we got back from the trip, she said, would you like one of those smart watches? I said, not after hanging out with Dave. He's flipping his arm all the time to look at his email and to check his notifications. I said, man.
Mine isn't even a smart watch. It's just a Fitbit. So
yeah, it was driving me crazy. But if you could, let's say you could do this, right? You could do this, and then you would receive the Lord's blessing, right?
I'm saying I don't think you
relationship. Can. It says such people may seek you and worship in your presence.
Yeah, if they are able to do this.
Oh, this is hurtful. This is I can tell where this is going. So when you get to verses 7 through 10, open up the gates. Open up ancient gates. Open up ancient doors. That's that. What's that called when you kind of repeat something?
Repetition.
And let the King of Glory enter. Who is the King of Glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord invincible in battle. Open up ancient gates. Open up ancient doors and let the King of Glory enter. Who is the King of Glory? The Lord of heaven's armies. He is the King of Glory. Interlude. All right, so that's the answer, right?
It is the answer, yeah. Yeah, we can't go up there, but guess what?
He can come down here.
Yeah. This is incredible for the Old Testament.
And let the King of Glory enter in.
Yeah.
Right? That's the key phrase, right? Let the King of Glory enter in. It's interesting because he's not saying you. Well, maybe he is. Maybe he is saying, maybe there's an implied you in 7 and in 9. You need to open up the ancient gates. You need to open up the ancient doors. He's not talking to the gates and doors, right?
I wouldn't think so. Someone's going to open them up.
Us. Yeah. Throw those gates and doors open and invite the King of Glory to enter.
Yeah. It really is incredible. 3 sections. One talking about just how God has created everything in it. And then, who's going to be able to ascend that mountain? Mm-hmm. Well, if you have a pure heart, if you have clean hands, if you never tell lies, if you don't worship idols. And I don't know what their mindset was at that point, but it's like, what hope do I have to be able to even come close to doing this? And then it's like, well, guess what? He's coming here.
Yeah. See, and that's like you said, that's really unusual for the Old Testament to have that. Well, no, I don't know that it is in that God was with them, leading them through the desert with fire, pillar of smoke.
Yeah.
God was with them, encouraged them, but at the same time, you have the story of him saying, "Keep people at a distance around this mountain.
Right.
If you even get
Yeah.
close to me, you're going to
Yeah.
die."
Right.
The guy who the Ark of the Covenant's being carried along and it starts to teeter, and a guy reaches out to hold it up. Innocent, no big deal, dead on the spot.
Yeah. You should have known better. It said don't touch.
it's right there in Hebrew.
Yeah, it is.
Wet gold paint, do not touch.
Yeah.
So I guess, in the mindset of this people, it would have been hands off, literally hands off. And yet throw those gates open and he's going to show up. And I really like that. I like this really does feel like a song, right? Or a very beautiful poem, the way it repeats verse 7 and 8 and then 9 and 10, kind of a similar statement, emphasizing the power of that statement.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful what the message, what he's done here. And it really is, I think, a foreshadowing, the incarnation with Jesus stepping into the world that, he had a hand in creating.
Yeah.
Everything in it. Yeah.
Honestly, this is one of those that you can read in a New Testament context. You can take an Old Testament passage and really then put in Jesus as Lord and King and inviting him in. You're opening up your heart and you're inviting him in. You could really translate that very, very well. Because it's true, and we run into, in the Christian tradition, we run into a danger of seeing ourselves as less as worms, right? We're just the lowest of the low, and that's the beauty of the Christ story, is that in Philippians it says this, right? I mean, even though he was equal with God, he humbled himself to be like us. Right. He was like us. And we just read that this week in our small group, Philippians chapter 2. If you're interested, Philippians chapter 2, verses 1 through 11 is Christ showing us how to live together. And this passage also shows us how to live in the presence of God. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, it's small and mighty. Small. We could probably spend a couple of hours actually on it, but I think we've touched it just perfectly.
I think so too.
All right. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us this week, for being a part of the conversation. I think it's by now, if you've seen any of our shows, you know that there's a beautiful ponderingpassages.com that you can go visit. There's also, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and YouTube is where our videos originate, but you can also see them on our website by itself. So we would love for you to be a part of that, and come back in a week and we'll be talking about Psalm 25. And our goal is to read it every day for a week and then come back and talk about it. We'd love for you to be a part of that conversation. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are as well. So we'll see you in a week. Have a blessed week in the meantime.